So, I was challenged by another YouTuber. Mario from Rusty to Retro hit me up to go head to head in a bike flip challenge. And well, here it is. The video, that is. This isn't the bike. This is the bike. Possibly the most desirable bike that GT has ever produced. The GT Paloma. I'm kidding, by the way. I picked it up cheap and I thought it would make a cool build. And while this is a bike flip challenge, I didn't want to just rock up with a hybrid or a roadie. And I know this isn't quite retro, but it's about as retro as I get. So we're going to be judging this over 5 categories on a point system, and the rules are going to be similar to the cheap bike build-off, which I'm also doing. So we have a $200 all-in budget, with any of our parts bin items to be allocated a reasonable market price, and any labour costs aren't included. So the first category is buying cost, and we have a maximum of $100 to spend on the bike itself. So we'll earn points if we come in under budget, and we'll be deducted points if we come in over budget. So the second category is parts cost, and this is where the rest of the money can be allocated. So in my case, I bought a $50 bike, which means I have $150 remaining to spend on parts where I see fit, or at least that's how I interpret it. If I'm wrong, I'm screwed. So the third category is time on market. Now, the first person to sell their bike will be awarded additional points, and points will either be added or deducted based on how long it actually takes to sell the bike. Now the fourth category is overall profit. Now it has been capped and there is a bit of a system in place for it, so you can't just rock up with a free bike, sell it for 250 bucks and then walk away the winner. Now it is a little bit convoluted, but once it comes judging time, it'll be made clear. And then there's the fifth category. That's where you guys come in. Once these bikes are built, we'll throw a poll up on Instagram and YouTube, and you can decide which bike you like best. You can base your judgment on whether you think it looks the coolest, whether it's more period correct, if it's something that you would prefer to ride. It doesn't really matter how you vote, as long as you vote for me. So the GT's torn down now. As far as we're gonna go, it's pretty greasy and messy, so I'm gonna take it out the front, give it a proper clean, and then we'll work on assembling it. All right, we're at a nice clean starting point. Now, the paint, it's not immaculate, and I knew that when I bought it, but I think once the bike is put together as a whole, the little blemishes here and there are not really gonna detract from the overall look of the bike. So we're all nice and fresh. The bottom bracket's fine, the headset's fine. The rear derailleur is the one that I'm gonna keep on the bike for the time being anyway. The brake pads look in good condition. Time will tell whether they actually stop well or not. So on the bench behind me, this small amount of parts that I have here is all I'll be keeping from what I've stripped off so far, and all the stuff that is over there is no longer required. So I know it's not your typical rigid fork, slim tube retro frame, but I still want to go for that cafe cruiser kind of vibe, and that is where this bike comes in. So the bike from the intro, I actually picked this up for free. Now I'm still going to have to allocate money towards the parts that I use off this bike, but I'll be using the grips and the handlebars. So I need to get these bars off, give them a sand and a coat of paint, and hopefully they'll suit this bike quite well. So for the drivetrain, we're going to go 1x you remember a couple of videos back, I got a couple of free track frames. That's where this come from. So I'll be using the chainring, but I don't really want to go with a polished crank. So I got this nice, clean, black crank here. I'll be using those. These come off of a free frame set that I got ages ago. They're just off an Aldi frame, and the frame itself was all bent and busted up. So I pinched a couple of bits and pieces off it, one being this crank here. So the chainring bolts are a bit rusty. The ones on here should clean up fine. So I'll swap all this over. Then it's onto the conundrum. So I'm just checking the chain line, and with the chainring set to the rear mating surface of the crank, the chain line is pretty good. And we also have about 5 to 6 mil of clearance currently between the chainring and the chainstay. Now, once the crank gets tightened down, that clearance will go a little bit smaller, but I think we're gonna have enough to play with there. So yeah, should be good. And all black, once that's cleaned up, should look the part. So here's my conundrum. We get points for coming in under budget. We get points for a quick sale. We get points based on the amount of profit that we make. So the most expensive part of this flip is the tires. Now, I'm gonna talk you through it like you have a choice. Feel free to leave a comment down below of which ones that you would have gone with. But basically we have 3 options. The first option is to use these white wall tires that come off the free bike. They are a little bit worn, and I mean the white wall, it will clean up nice, but it's not great. The second option is the tires that come with the bike. So I actually paid $40 for the bike, and when I was there, the guy had heaps of parts laying around. So I gave him an extra tenner, and I got these tires just in case. They will suit the period of the bike, but are they gonna look as good as a fresh set of power blocks? I paid $50 for these tires, but are these tires gonna make the bike look $50 better? Now, these would be one of the last things to go on, so I got a little bit of time to decide, but leave a comment down below of which ones that you would go with. Like I said, you don't really get a choice, but it would be good to know. All right, so the bars have copped a couple of coats of gloss black paint. They're still a little bit tacky, so I'm just gonna have to be careful, but I'm impatient. I just wanna get this bike done. So I thought I'll record this with the mic on, so you can get my actual reaction to if I actually like this or not, because to be honest, I haven't even test fitted them on the bike. All right, is that the look I'm going for? To be honest, I'm even less sure. This has not put my mind at ease. So we're gonna fab up a bit of a front rack situation, which I think will be the saving grace to this bike. Don't know whether I love the bars. Maybe it's just the stem. Maybe once there's tires on it, it will look better. A bit more black stuff on there. Let's keep going. Alright, apologies, the camera cut out there. It ran out of battery. You only missed about 15 minutes work. I'd already got all of the cable outers cut and in. I've just literally just ran all of the cables through and cut off the excess. Nothing's been adjusted yet. I think it's time to put the tires on. So I think just to know that the bike is gonna look as good as it possibly can, and to sway even my opinion of it, I'm gonna go with the new tires. I think these are gonna look best on it. They're gonna be nice, proper black, some nice white lettering on the side. I think it's gonna tie in with the bike a lot better. And then once these are on, we can basically dial the bike in, and then it's on to fabbing up some sort of front rack for it. Now I know when it comes time to it, Mario's gonna have a really cool bike to go up against this, but I'm gonna be looking at this through rose-colored glasses because I'm in love with it. Everything is done. The bike is ready to go as it is. The big selling point, I think, that's really gonna sell this retro cafe kind of look is the front rack. The front rack that I've got is just another rear rack, and I've done many conversions of those on the channel already. So I'm not gonna talk through like a nut and bolt procedure of it, but pretty much you get your rear rack, you unmount your rear rack, and then you just chop it and bend it until it fits. So yeah, I'll capture a couple of little bits and pieces of this, but it's gonna be a bit of a head scratcher, this one. It's not quite suited to this bike, and this bike isn't actually supposed to have a front rack. There's no mounting points to it, and I'm not gonna drill and tap anything into the dropouts, so I'll have to make up some mounting brackets that wrap around the fork legs and the mounting bracket that mounts it to the front of the fork. So yeah, probably at least a couple of hours of mucking around with this, I think, but we'll see how we go. So originally the rack sort of sat like this. This was the rear that faced out, and this was the bracket that mounted to the rear eye bolts. Now it flares out slightly to suit the wider rear triangle of a mountain bike. I've had to take that off purely for the fact that they'll need to be run the other way around, so it's slightly narrower to match up with the fork legs. But I was trying to figure out how I was going to mount it this way. I'd have to make up a bracket that mounted to the top of the forks here. But if I just flip this around, I already have a mounting point here. I can bolt that straight to the top of the fork. And then once this flips around, I was thinking that I was gonna have to cut this up into pieces and bend it around. But I think that once, I got the wrong one. But I think that once that's bolted back in and all together, we're gonna come pretty close to where the fork is. I'm not gonna have to do too much bending. So what I thought was gonna be hours and hours of a painful procedure, I think that this might be quite a quick little job. So yeah, I'll crack on with it. I know someone in the comments is going to tell me a way easier way of doing what I'm about to do, and I probably even have the bits here that I need, but I don't know, my brain's just not working at the moment. So I've dug out a couple of black hose clamps, and my goal is that I've cut off a small section where the screw goes through, and that is where this leg is going to mount between. Alright, so there's a little bit of minor finessing. I still need to clearance out enough for the hose clamp to run through. It's going to mount to the rack at the top, and then that is going to tighten around the fork leg. Now I just have to do that both sides, and that should be one easy rack made. Once it's all together, I'll pull it back apart, give it a coat of paint, throw it back on, and it should look somewhat factory. So we're at the pointiest of ends now. The bike is done, I'm just adding the icing on the cake. Now I had a couple of different options for front baskets. This happened to be the cheapest, but I've never done it before and I really wanted to try it out. Now it's a bit flimsy. It only costs like, I think $6 for this basket, but I just think it's very versatile and I think it's gonna look kind of cool. It's gonna match with the bike. So what we have is like a collapsible basket, and as it sits, it'll be mounted to the rack, and you can sit maybe like a skateboard or just something big that's not gonna fit in the basket over the top, strap it down. If you just wanted to carry something else, boom, basket. How good's that? Easy as that. So I think it's going to be a great addition to the bike. The fact that it's blue and ties in well with the build, I'm pretty happy with. So I'm going to get this mounted and take it out the front, give it another proper wash down to get all my fingerprints off it. And then it'll be time to take some photos, send them off to Mario, and let the voting begin. That's the build wrapped up, and I bloody love it. I just wish it was my size. If it was my size, I'd probably buy it off myself. I've taken it out the front, I've given it a good wash, I've taken it for a spin, everything works perfect. I've taken the photos of it so it's ready to list for sale. Hopefully it sells quick, and hopefully it sells for the price that I listed for. Alright, the time has come and the bike has sold. Now, in the fairness of competition, we won't class it as technically sold until the cash is in my hand. But I listed this for sale at 8:29 AM yesterday morning. And the guy that's buying it messaged me at like, I don't know, 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon to say that he wanted it, but he's coming from Brisbane. So I offered to meet him up the road a little bit just to save him a little bit of travel. As you can see, the weather is pretty average at the moment. So I'm gonna quickly take the front wheel off this, chuck it in the back of the car, and yeah, not long, and I'll head off and go meet the guy who will be the new owner of this beautiful bike.
Was always going to be like let's give it a go.
Yeah, it's all good. I don't think I've ever video called anyone except for Carly, and then the kids normally take control of the phone. They know what they're doing. They start changing like all of the filters and stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm a cat trying to talk to her. So.
Yeah, right now.
Oh, you got yourself properly set up now.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's try this again. All right. So we've got 5 rules that we had to follow. That was a good buy, man. GT Palomar at that.
Yeah, well, I have no idea what that model is. There's so many different GTs. So I did make a bit of a joke in my video about like that it's the most desirable one, but I honestly don't know. I've never heard of it before. I just seen the triple triangle and I thought, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. Well done, man.
No, thanks heaps for reaching out and doing that, because yeah, it was great fun. Really the catalyst that I needed. And it's kickstarted the cheap bike build off this. Like, yeah, it's gonna do great for the channel. So I really appreciate you reaching out.
All right, dude.
Oh, good.
Yeah, nice to have a chat.
Yeah, nice to talk to you.
We'll talk again.
Cool. All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.